Hi everyone, this is Ramki. My hobby project is WhatchaEat. So, what is it and why is it? What is WhatchaEat? It's an automatic recipe suggester. It suggests recipes from your preferences, history, and inventory. It tracks your home inventory, like fridge, freezer, kitchen cabinet, and stuff like that. It also gives a nice exploratory data analysis on your spending and the budget. Also, plan was to track wastages, like if there are some expiry dates you missed and the item is to be thrown out, so it tracks that. Also, you really like a recipe but you don't have all the ingredients in it, so with one button click I'm planning to have like an automatic grocery list maker. So why this particular app? So there were two critical questions every day during pandemic. One was, what are we watching in Netflix? The other one is, what are we eating today? For the first question, obviously, Netflix answered it for me. For the second one, I wanted something to answer it for me. Ideas are always born from pain. I've been maintaining these things in Excel sheets and it never worked. So I wanted um, a sweet marriage between two things. One is recipe suggestion and inventory tracking. So that is this app. It's a combo of both the things, so I can have one place to look at. The tech stack, it's going to be React.js and Material UI. I'm new to Material UI, so I wanted to learn it. So far, I had amazing experience with it. I plan to make it as a progressive web app. So I've made the design as much as responsive as possible. For the hop time frame, I decided not to use any state managers like Redux or anything. For the backend, I've been like a Python and Ruby on Rails guy for quite a long time. I wanted to try something which is serverless, backend as a service. So I chose Supabase, a nice alternative to Firebase. All the REST APIs are exposed directly from the Postgres database. I wrote some SQL views and materialized views for some complex queries. Otherwise, everything was straightforward. The database, as I mentioned, it's Postgres, very familiar with. Instead of just some fake data, I wanted to have some real data. I got an open source food data recipe dataset. I cleaned it, pre-processed it, extracted the ingredients, units, quantity, everything using Python script, and used Google Colab for that. I designed the DB schema and loaded into the tables. So it has about 6,800 real recipes. It has across 81 cuisines and 9 types of dietary restrictions, so that when I'm showing the demo, it will be real data and not fake data. Also, while I was testing out, I saw whenever I was loading the assets, it was taking quite some time. So I want to try a new CDN other than S3. So I went ahead with Cloudinary. I wrote a script to download and upload them so that the assets are served in an optimized way. Without further ado, let's dive into demo. And we have a few other slides on what are my post MVP and phase 2. So here you see, this is the home page. So you can see the core idea is to suggest recipes for you. Again, I just don't want something where you have to go and pick recipes. The idea is to follow the history, some of your dietary restrictions and stuff like that. And something which you really hated will not be shown in this list. So there are quite a lot of complex logic planned. At the moment, the logic is very simple. So you can see two recipes suggested to you. Here I say what type it is. It's a continental cuisine. This one is like a Maharashtrian cuisine. These are the ingredients available from your inventory. I also plan to show the missing items so that you can add it to a grocery list. If you don't like these, no problem. Just press next and you'll be suggested with the next one. So again, you see some vegetarian recipes right there. You don't like those, it doesn't matter. You keep going however time you want. If you really want to search all the 6,800 recipes, no problem. You can search something based out of cuisine. You want to eat African cuisine, that's fine too. There are quite a lot of African cuisines. If you want something else, like I have vegan, I want vegan food. So there are some vegan options with course. These are all coming from the backend, Supabase, like how I showed here. This is their nice UI. I have some custom views and materialized views for faster APIs. And If you are specific about a particular diet, like I want sugar-free diet, then there are some items as well for it. And I didn't want to repeat the whole idea of like what to do with this recipe, so I have attributed it to the source. So if you click on this, it opens and gives you the real place where I took these recipes from. One of the reasons it's not deployed yet is I need to add authentication, and it's all the images are not licensed. So I didn't want to put it out there in the cloud. So one of the reasons it's not deployed in the cloud, it's served from my local host. The work in progress are listing the inventory and adding a new inventory. Other than that, you have options of liking a food, you can share it a food. So there are plenty of things which are planned. I want to just come back again to the slides to show what do I have for plan. So for the MVP, I have a working app in the Supabase, front end in React.js, running locally, checked into GitHub. It's right there. And selected recipe page with 2 selected recipes, and recipe listing page with lots of filters and searching. And the inventory listing page is what it's work in progress. Post MVP, I have plans of adding authentication using What, so that you can log in through any social providers, finish the existing one, whatever I'm working on. I intend to keep it as a weekend project, clean up the code, add tests, and make the repository public. The phase 2 is I want to add store receipt scanning and automatically add the inventory and keep the inventory updated. And I wanted to add more analytics. There were suggestions to add food wastage tracking and more analytics, like what are my top 10 versatile veggies and fruits I like and stuff like that. And the primary thing is I want to make this as a progressive web app so that I can use it in my phone. And the learnings are playing with Material UI, various styling and themes. I really loved Supabase. It was very easy to interact. They have an amazing way to write queries. I wrote quite a lot of queries. It was amazing. I learned Scrapy for scraping the data sets and downloading the images. So it was really nice. And that's it. Thank you. Any questions? Please let me know.